cops.
Call the
He
cops.
was threatening his pistol.
Call the cops.
I got it.
Les is one man you can bet is prepared for anything. He is not the type of man you catch off guard, but even with how smart and cautious he is, there are times when he almost loses control over situations in the pawn shop, and these are times when that happened. Grab your popcorn. We'd start this episode with a customer who comes in looking to sell his TV. Now here's the funny thing about this particular customer. He doesn't bring in the TV. He tells Seth that the TV was too big for him to put in his car, so he brought a picture of the TV and showed it to Seth on his phone. I don't know what world this customer lives in, but there is no way Seth is going to make a deal with him without checking out the TV.
I got a 60-inch TV. It's too big for me to load it up here. Try to get some money for it.
Did this customer just curse at Seth? Wow, he must really have anger issues. Seth tries to explain to him that he can't make a deal or give him a price if he doesn't inspect the TV to at least know that it doesn't have any issues. The customer refuses to listen and gets angry immediately. He is pissed because someone in the pawn shop told him that he could bring in a picture of the item and get a deal. Well, he is pissed as hell.
You gonna either help me out?
I'll help you out.
I'm gonna need $15 to $20 though, man, for some gas money then. Real talk.
Phew, someone needs to put a leash on that man before he brings the building down. For a second there, I thought he was going to beat up Seth. Everyone in the pawn shop can't seem to understand what's making him so angry. Seth tells him that he can't give him any money without seeing the TV. He then asks Seth to give him some gas money to go back, and Seth just doesn't have the energy to deal with the dude. The guy gets furious, and the security guard has to throw him out of the pawn shop.
Ow. I got tired.
He actually jumped over the fence? That gas money must have really meant a lot to him. Seth's security guard is finally able to get him out of the pawn shop, but instead of leaving, he decides to create another scene in the parking lot. Trust me, he put on quite a show. Even the security guard was speechless after seeing him jump over a fence for no reason. Only well. I'm just glad he is out of the pawn shop.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, my name is Dennis.
Haha, those shoes could take both my feet and still have space in them. They are huge. This customer walks in with this set of big shoes and claims that they were Shaquille O'Neal's autograph shoes that he played in. The fact that the shoes were huge made his story believable to some extent. But how on earth did he get shoes that Shaquille O'Neal played in? That part of the story is yet to be answered.
You telling me he wore this?
Yeah. I got him in 04, 05.
You got certificates with him too, right?
He isn't wrong. Those shoes are actually very cool, but like he said, he has no certification that shows that Shaquille O'Neal actually signed the shoes. The dude who brought them in says that he wants $1,000 for both pairs. Nobody is ready to give out that huge amount of money for shoes that they don't know are authentic. He definitely has to run his background check before they start to talk about the price.
So what I got here
Is a big-ass shoe.
Shaquille O'Neal's autograph, single shoe, signed on the side.
Les is involved? Haha, this dude can kiss his dreams of getting $1,000 goodbye. The pawn shop employee does some background checks to see if the shoes were actually signed by Shaquille O'Neal. To his surprise, one of the shoes was actually signed by Shaquille O'Neal, but the other one was not. Les asks the employee how much the dude wanted for it, and he said $1,000. Well, let's see what happened next.
What would you take for these?
1,000 for both of them.
There's no certification. For me to go certify cost a fortune.
Looks like we have ourselves a bargaining war. After the background check was done, Les came out to talk to the customer about the price. Les told him that he could not buy the shoes for $1,000 because getting the shoes certified is going to cost him a fortune, and that's if the shoes were actually signed by Shaquille O'Neal. Les offers him $200 for the shoes, and that's when the bargaining war begins.
2?
2?
Yeah.
4.
2.
3.
2 and a quarter and we got a deal.
All right, man.
And Les once again shows that he is the best in the game when it comes to bargaining. Les and the guy who brought in the shoes go back and forth for a bit, and Les offers to sell the shoes for $225. The dude takes a deep breath and thinks about the offer before he eventually agrees and shakes Les's hand on the price. Some part of me feels like Les is going to keep those shoes for himself. Oh well, at least the pawn shop has new shoes and the customer didn't go home with empty pockets.
Were you on my desk at all?
I wasn't.
Why? Because this ring was found on the floor and it was in one of the boxes on my desk.
Seems like something suspicious is going on in the pawn shop. One of the employees in the pawn shop interrupts Ashley and Les's meeting to tell him that he found a piece of jewelry on the floor that shouldn't have been there. Ashley and the employee feel like someone took it, but Les is convinced that it was a mistake and someone may have dropped it while working. Well, let's hope he is right, and the pawn shop does not have a thief.
I did. I set up the watch. It should be in the possession of the customer.
Hey.
Oh boy, I can tell you that all hell is about to break loose. Now the employee who initially found a ring on the floor finds another set of jewelry around his desk again. He takes it to Les, and this time Les knows that it is not a coincidence. I mean, finding one ring on the floor could be a mistake, but some pieces of jewelry? That's a totally different ballgame. Ashley might have been right after all. Looks like there is a thief in the pawn shop.
What the hell is this? The footage isn't there.
The person who stole from the shop definitely knows the ins and outs of the building. After Les and Seth come to the conclusion that items are being taken from the pawn shop, Les decides to check the security cameras to see if he can find out who has been taking them. To his surprise, the security footage has been wiped clean. There's nothing to show that someone actually took the items from where they were put. This is a big problem.
I think I can set them up. I can clean off my desk and set some jewelry up in a certain order, and that way.
Looks like they have a plan to catch the thief. Seeing that the security footage has been deleted, the employee who noticed that items were being taken comes up with a plan. He tells Les and Seth that he is going to clean off his desk and set up some jewelry in a particular order. If he comes back the next day and the jewelry is gone or in a different order, he would know that someone actually took the jewelry.
We need to find out what the hell's going on. We're going to set up a sting. Jeff's gonna set up some jewelry on his desk, or who's involved?
Who? Les is not fooling around. It's been quite a day for him. He has had to deal with so many crazy customers, and now he has to catch a thief who is stealing from the pawn shop. I really don't want to be in his shoes right now. What's crazy is that the thief could be anyone in the pawn shop. He set up a plan with Seth and one of the employees. Let's hope the plan works and he gets to catch one of the employees. If not, all hell is going to break loose.
No, I'm talking to you. You know what? I'm gonna come and show your bitch ass. Yeah, yes, I'm talking to you.
Man, the pawn shop is home to all types of people at this point. This lady walks into the pawn shop. Now she doesn't speak to anyone when she walks in. She hops on a call and starts to yell at the top of her voice. Ashley tries to speak to the woman and find out what's going on. She yells right into Ashley's face and tells Ashley to leave her alone. But does Ashley leave her alone? Hell no. I mean, it's her pawn shop for crying out loud.
Miss, get somebody to help me, please.
What do you need help with?
I'm needing help with my ring right
you
here.
take off your ring?
You rule.
Why do customers always have to be so stubborn? Jeez, this lady just wants to cause some trouble in the pawn shop. Now Ashley tries to talk to the woman as calmly as she can so she can help the woman figure out what the problem is. The woman keeps up her crazy attitude and tells Ashley that she wants someone else to attend to her. Ashley refuses and tells the lady that she is going to be escorted out of the building if she doesn't stop raising her voice.
Follow me no more. I won't come back in this bitch. All the motherfucking times I've been...
Let's hope that lady does not find her way to the pawn shop again. Looks like today is all about violent customers in the pawn shop. The lady saw that one other than Ashley was going to attend, so she decided to walk out of the pawn shop before the security threw her out. While walking out, she kept yelling and cursing at Ashley. Whatever ever made her angry, I'm just glad it's no longer Ashley's problem. I wonder if there's going to be another angry customer.
So what you got? Served in World War II.
Haha, you have to love these guys. The facial expression on Les and Rich's faces, even the customer said $2,100 was princely. Now this dude walks into the pawn shop looking to sell an item. He has a World War II torpedo watch. Les saw the item and was immediately fascinated by it. His dad fought in World War II, so the item was not strange to him. The price, however, is what might make him be less interested.
And how much do you want for it?
1,000. 1939. German submarine pocket watch.
Can you see if there's any been sold?
Well, that was not shocking to hear. After the customer told Les that he wanted $2,100 for it, Les told him to go a bit lower. He said $1,000, and Les told him that he wanted to do some research on the watch. Les then finds out that the only place to find such an item is the museum, and there are really no price tags attached to it. Well, let's see if they can come to some form of an agreement.
Well, there's a whole lot on them. It talks about them. It just doesn't value them. So, what would you really take for it? 1,000 ain't gonna happen.
I guess that brings that deal to a close. At first, it looked like the deal was not going to scale through. Les and the customer got into a bargaining war, and somehow, Les was able to beat the price from $2,100 down to $350. Believe me when I say it was incredible to watch him do that. Les is not wrong about the item though. Anything that relates to World War II is definitely going to be worth a lot of money. I mean, it's literally a rare museum quality item.
How you guys doing? How can I help you guys?
Need a couple of jerseys for the all.
Looks like Seth is about to make one hell of a deal with these gentlemen. Now the gentlemen walk into the pawn shop looking to get some jerseys that they can use for an office event. Seth brings out some really nice jerseys, and I am not even going to lie, these jerseys were top-notch. The gentlemen saw the jerseys and they seem to be very interested in them. Well, let's see if they go on to purchase the jerseys.
My kid plays sport year-round, big athlete, basketball fan, big Lakers fan.
Aha, I was right. Now Seth shows them his entire collection of jerseys and these men love every single one of them. They then ask Seth if he has something that is an icon for the Lakers teams, and Seth decides to bring out the shoes that a customer claimed were signed by Shaquille O'Neal. The moment they see the show, their minds are blown, and they immediately tell Seth that they want to buy all the items on the table.
So where are we at? We're interested in everything?
Yeah, do it all. Package it all together.
This is like a pawnbroker's dream. This guy wants everything.
I think we can now see why Les is confident that he can handle deals on his own. Seth looks at all the items and tells the gentleman that he is going to sell all the items for $3,250. They give it a thought, and they tell Seth that they are willing to pay $3,000 for everything in the counter. Seth then gives some thought to it and realizes that $3,000 is not a bad price. They shake hands on it and the deal is made.
$5,000 worth of equipment. I came down here to pay y'all. Y'all gonna tell me.
Anyone who knows Les knows that he does not take kindly to threats. The last thing you want to do is threaten Les Gold. He is going to mess you up. This guy walks into the pawn shop and starts yelling at everyone. Apparently, he lost an expensive camera and didn't pay for the item. Les tries to figure out what's going on, and the next thing the guy does is tell Les that he is going to beat him up. Next thing you know, the dude is thrown out of the pawn shop. Well, that escalated pretty quickly. I didn't think it was going to get very nasty that fast. Now the dude is escorted out of the building. The security guards watch him try to get into his car, and the dude starts to yell at them, saying that he is going to kill them. They have no idea if he is serious or might have a weapon in the car, so they rush to apprehend him, and now they are about to call the police to come pick him up.
He had a pawn that expired. I was standing behind the counter.
I'm pretty sure this is a day this dude is never going to forget in his entire life. Like Les said, he was really lucky. After Les's security team apprehended the dude, Ashley called the cops, and they came in ASAP. Les explained the situation to the police, and the dude told the police that he didn't mean any of what he said, and he was just venting out of anger. Les decided to let the whole thing die down, and the dude was allowed to leave the pawn shop.
So a customer purchased one of our TVs in layaway. One of my guys drops it, so it's broken. So I got a serious issue. A customer purchased a TV.
Ha ha ha. Seth is not having the best of days right now. Now here's what's going on. A customer bought one of their TVs in the pawn shop. While trying to get the TV, one of the employees drops the TV and the screen breaks. Seth is so mad because he has to use his own money to get the TV fixed. What's even worse is the fact that Les is already pissed about the whole situation, and once Les is pissed, everybody gets a share of his anger.
Okay, I had it like this. I was just trying to reposition it, and I lost it. I mean,
I don't know. How much we get for it?
500.
How bad is it?
It's broke.
What's our decision? I'm pissed.
Phew. I'm surprised Les is very quiet about what's going on. Seth breaks the news to Les and tells him that it was one of the employees that broke the TV. Les goes to inspect the TV and sees that the damage on the TV is a lot. The TV costs $500, and they might be using almost the same amount to have it fixed. Let's just say they can get it fixed before the customer arrives and the employee does not get fired.
my autographs and hockey cards, I would do it. All this stuff that I've had all these years, $150.
You can always tell when someone is being forced to give up an item. This guy comes in with his wife to the pawn shop looking to sell some items that he has kept for years. He doesn't want to get rid of them, but his wife wants them out of the house. They initially went into the shop and Les told them he was going to buy all the items for $150. The man and his wife came out of the pawn shop to discuss and figure out if it was a good deal.
Please don't.
Actually, only the one.
Really?
What I'll do,
You want this?
I want this because he was one of my favorite guys.
Really?
Nixon, I loved him.
All right.
This is honestly hilarious. At this point, this man has left his wife to do all the talking since she's the one who wants to get rid of the items. She comes out and explains to her that Les wants to purchase only 3 items and would still give them $150. The man tells his wife that he wants an extra $10 for one of the items. Now she has to go back in and renegotiate.
He really wants the Nixon faceplate. How
to
about
help
you
you
give him
out.
160 and I'll mail you $10.
155.
155 it is. $5 more for Nixon. I'm not going back in there.
You don't need anyone to tell you that he loves his wife. She came back into the pawn shop and told Les that her husband wanted an extra $10 for one of the items they wanted. Les laughed and told her that they would give her an extra $5 if her husband agreed. With a sad and broken heart, her husband agreed to sell the 3 items for $155. He might be sad, but at least his wife gets to stay happy.
Hi. I'm Ashley. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So this is what I've got. Went through a divorce and came upon hard times and had to come back home to live with my parents.
$1,000 seems like a far stretch. Who knows, maybe Ashley is feeling a little generous today. This lady comes up to the counter and tells Ashley that she has some of her grandmother's jewelry and she's hoping to get some money from it. She tells Ashley that she's going through a bad divorce and she needs all the money she can get so she can take care of her child. Well, let's see how the deal goes.
How much you looking to get? She has a lot of that stuff.
A lot of it's probably junk.
You don't want to give her a wedding band?
I do, but I also want to be with my son, so I think she would understand.
Wow.
At least I hope she does.
That's a tough call. This is a test to see how nice Ashley is. Ashley goes through the bunch of jewelry, and sadly, she doesn't see anything that's worth a lot of money. After going through it for a couple of minutes, she finally sees something that's worth some money. The lady then asks if she can keep her grandmother's wedding ring and still get $250 for the other items. Is Ashley going to be nice and allow the women to keep the ring?
You know, I really wanted to help her out. Like, I feel for her. She has a 7-year-old kid that she hasn't seen in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Finally, I see a couple rings that are real. I'm like, oh, thank God. I can help this lady a little bit. $250.
It's a big difference from what I was hoping.